Welcome back, everybody. As you can see, we got our 2018 Silverado rebuild sitting right behind me here. It is almost done. We are extremely close, and we'll do a full reveal here, but we got to run to the dealership and grab just the last few very small pieces to get this thing back to 100% rebuilt. And then we're going to go through all the details of the rebuild and tell you about how much we spent getting this thing back on the road. That would be a better dump truck than my dump truck. So our box of goodies up here will pretty much finish up everything that still needs to be done with the truck. This actually is for one of those Cadillacs that you saw maybe sitting outside. It's not for this. But these are bumper brackets. The body shop got the bumper as close as they could, but they were both bent. We thought maybe they could be straightened out, but it didn't really work out. So we got two new bumper brackets. These are for the bumper as well. Got a piece for the cowl. I guess that's part of it there, yep. And then this guy, I have to look what this is for. Some little plastic piece. And a tray, which is not a battery tray, but it looks kind of like a battery tray that sits on this side of the engine. Starting with the easy one first, just because why not? This is the piece that goes at the back of the hood, right there. So this guy sits in here like, well, I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so this should go this direction. I got it now. Pretty sure I got it now. Sure it goes right like that. Yep. That's it. There it is. And then we got our battery tray, which really isn't for a battery, but it is an option, I believe, to get a second battery for cold weather and different stuff. So it sits in kind of right here like that. And I just got to take those two bolts right there out and then pop some more in over here. But that's about it. And with those few little parts on, we're ready to pull her outside, do the full walk around. We're going to go over all the things that we replaced, and then we'll come back in the garage, add up the total to everything, and show you how much we got in this guy. Now, before I get into the full walk around on the truck, I just want to give a huge thank you to Hummel's Auto Body and all the guys there. They did an excellent job on this truck. It's where we take pretty much all of our rebuilds. They always do an excellent job. They did the Duramax, they did this one, and a lot of the cars that you guys don't even necessarily see that we're rebuilding, they do all the work to it. I'll leave a link to their info down below. Check it out in the description. Give them a follow on Instagram. And if you're in the area, definitely go check them out. So our 2018 Silverado rebuild is done. This has been one of the most extensive rebuilds that we've done so far on the channel, other than probably the Whistling Diesel truck. This is our first full frame swap that we've done on the channel. We did an F-150 a little while ago that we had the front section of the frame replaced. Professionally, we didn't do that, but this is the first one we've done that's a full frame swap. Now I'm going to take you around and show you some of the things that we changed and fixed on this truck. The first big thing you're going to notice is the cowl hood we got going on here, and that's simply because that hood is cheaper than the GM factory one. So we got that instead. I think it looks pretty good. Not everybody's going to go for it, but I think it fits in all right. Next, this was originally a truck with all chrome on the front end. We got rid of all the chrome, had everything paint matched, which I think is a huge upgrade. I think it makes it look a whole lot better. And lastly, on the outside, our headlights do have the accent lighting. It's sort of an aftermarket touch there, but I think it looks pretty good. It looks really nice at night. Basically, the front end of this truck was destroyed. Obviously, the frame was bent. We had radiator support bumper. That stuff's pretty obvious. It did get into the engine a little bit. Didn't hit the engine hard enough to actually do any internal damage or anything like that, but it did take out some of the pulleys. Now, if you want to do rebuilds, there's one thing you got to know, and that there's some things that don't make sense to fix 100%. Obviously, we always do. We put a new frame under it, and we do anything safety related that could cause issues for somebody down the road. But some of the things we let go are like, you know, if there's little clips or something. One, for an example, is the roof. Actually, it took out whenever it was in its accident. It hit the antenna up there and just put a little bit of character into the roof. We decided to let that go and just have it straightened up a little bit, but it's definitely not 100%. We're okay with that. Working our way down this side, we did put on a new fender on this side. We did a used door that we just had to get painted. You'll have to forgive, it is a little bit dirty. It was driven in the rain last, and it's like 20 degrees outside, and nobody in this garage is out going to be washing a vehicle in 20-degree weather. Nothing needs to be cleaned that bad. This is the original bed. We straightened out this back section of it. You can see just a little bit of a kink in there because whatever was in it, whenever it was in the accident, came up and hit pretty hard into the front of it. Coming around the back here, the tailgate had some damage up along the top edge here. That was filled. The whole thing was repainted. Paint matches perfectly. We also had the rear bumper paint match, which, again, I think that's definitely the better look. Now, we're fighting the sun here a little bit on this side. One of the things we let go as well, there was a little bit of a dent in here. I don't even know if you can see it, but there is just a little bit of a wave there on the side of the bed. We just let that go because, honestly, most people wouldn't ever even notice it. It's not that we're trying to hide it or anything like that. We'll point it out to any potential, buyers for the truck. And obviously I'm putting a video on the internet of it, but we got to leave some of the things like that. It just doesn't make sense to pay to have fixed. And then the last thing really is this fender had to be refinished and painted. Again, came out really, really nice. And I almost forgot, we did have the headlights. These were originally chrome and we had those paint matched as well. On the interior, we didn't do any upgrades, but we did have to do new driver's airbag. We had to do all new roof airbags. We did a new headliner. And then one of the things you always have to do is if the airbags popped, your seat pretensioners popped too, which you just have to take them out and get the whole mechanism for the seat belt and the pretensioner rebuilt. You can send them off to companies. It's really not that complicated. We also had to do a new steering rack, which really wasn't too big of a deal because when we had the frame already done, but you had to take it to the dealer and get that reprogrammed. That was really the only warning light other than airbags. And now we start it up and we're going to have zero airbag or any warning lights at all. This truck is like 100% good to go. 38,000 miles on the clock. Interior still needs to be a full detail, but we've gotten most of it cleaned up and ready to go. Now, without driving them back to back, I've not really done a head-to-head comparison on an F-150 with the 5.0 versus the Chevy with the 5.3. This does have the 5.3 in it, and this feels pretty peppy. I do think the 5.0 feels a little bit quicker. I mean, yeah, it's got some get up and go. I mean, it's definitely not a slouch at all, but I think the 5.0's got it beat, and I'm a Chevy guy, which is kind of sad. Now, one of the things I was not super happy about with the Ford was they did not do a very good burnout. Let's see here. Like, here's our, I guess we got a traction control off. Do you have to press and hold for it to completely go off, I wonder? Yeah, there we go. All right, so there we go. I think we got it completely off. We're just going to do a little brake gas action here and see what kind of burnout we could get. Now, the hope here is that it doesn't do a one-wheel peel like the Ford did. I don't think it's as fast as the Ford, but I hope that it doesn't do just the lame one-wheel peel.
I actually think this engine's more powerful.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I didn't feel it.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
I don't know. Number one, what is in the bed?
It's a propane tank.
Yeah, she slammed. It didn't burn.
I think she didn't hear it.
Oh yeah, it was like a
Okay.
yeah. No burnout? No traction control?
Traction control, I think we have off. I mean, as far as I can tell, now it's on.
Okay. Oh, all-wheel drive. Automatic all-wheel drive?
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Ah. There we go.
All right, go ahead. Nice, two big thick marks, man.
It's still shutting off. It still has some
sort of.
Yeah, it was not me letting off.
Oh,
like,
okay.
I didn't let off.
Okay.
So I'm gonna try it.
All right.
So you can brake stand it, is what I found out. You can brake stand it, but as soon as you actually let off the brake, and it'll keep spinning if you're just brake standing. But if you let off the brake, then the computer cuts in, and it doesn't quite let you do the whole burnout. And now we got to go through the numbers, which sometimes is really fun. Other times it's not as much fun. We're somewhere in the middle for this particular truck. So we probably got a little bit more into it than what you're thinking. And now it's time to talk numbers. We're going to start with the biggest number first, which you guessed it. It is the purchase price. We didn't do quite as well as cheap on this one as we did on like the Ford F-150, which I think we got for $2,200 or something. We're a little bit more into this one now. This is a 2018, but we started with $9,963 for just buying the truck. So we got $9,963. And then next, we had a $50 delivery. New frame is $600, and that was delivered to us. Thanks to our subscribers, by the way, for reaching out. Radiator support and assembly, that was another subscriber, which we really appreciate. And they actually helped us with some of the different little things as we went along, because they had already torn one of these apart. Had to do a new harmonic balancer. That's $95. And then new belts, $65. Actually, I think it was $60, sorry. Just doing it from my memory here. And then the belt tensioner, that's $38. Thermostat, $40. I know there's a bunch of little stuff here, so I'm just gonna go through them quick. One of the things we didn't know we were gonna need was the shutter assembly for the front, like in behind the grill. It controls how much air is coming in, helps with fuel mileage. Probably not all that much, but they still put it in there, and those are sort of expensive, so that was like $263. We had to spend $1,000 on airbags. Got that rear door that Lance thought was already paint matched, but it wasn't. That was $550. Total bodywork and paint, we were at $2,000. Still, the new steering rack, and we had to get it programmed. That was $600. New four-wheel drive actuator, that was crushed, $113. Oh, front differential was hit too. Some of the parts for that was like $150. The differential itself was okay, but some of the pieces on it were broken. New fluids, filters, etc. That's $125. Alignment was $50, which I really wish. Which brings our total, all of this, brings our total to $19,725. So you can see we're in this for a decent amount of money. The book on it, really in rough like trade-in, I think is somewhere around like $34. So we're going to be, I don't know exactly what we're going to ask right at this point, but it's probably in the $27,000, $28,000 range, something like that. Give somebody about a $7,000 discount over book because it does have a rebuilt title. But really the truck's done right and shouldn't have any, major issues down the road. So I just thought I'd show you guys. I said I was doing this from memory. I got all of my, all the numbers written out right here just to remember. So that's what I translated up here. And I didn't write what each individual thing was for because I'd be here for like 3 hours. And with that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this rebuild. It's pretty much done. I know we said about building this truck, doing a lift, different things. That's not completely out of the question, but I think we're going to try to just sell it as is because we just don't really want a 1500 truck. Or is the like build truck. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but we're into diesels and stuff like that. So probably use the money from this one to really get a head start on the OBS swap, putting the Duramax in that. If you guys haven't watched any of those older videos that we talked about that, we've been waiting on that now. I think we came up with that plan about a year ago, so it's time to get on that. So that is coming up. We haven't forgotten or have any real issues with that. We just decided to do a couple other rebuilds first. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great night.